we say in our language, which basically means that we are who we are. So you understand the history of Ethiopia and Somalia. You understand the history of the current Ethiopia itself. It's a city-state, Gojam and Gondar, for the longest, which has been telling the whole world that we are a Christian island in the midst of savages and Muslims, and we're getting support from the Portuguese, from the French, from the British, from the Russians, for the longest. Then, of course, we have now them taking over the territories of other people and to create this modern Ethiopia. And in that territory itself, it was the Somalis. Ethiopians have never fought a war with Somalis and defeated them, but they were still given that portion of the Ogaden. That is there because the difference between Ogaden and NFD of Kenya is that in Kenya, we had 44 different tribes who were colonized by the British, and the debate was, shall we take our independence together or shall we go our separate ways? We were never colonized by Kikuyus or Luos or Luyas or anybody like that. And the logic at that time was that, look, if you go, and the Oromos will go also who are next to Ethiopia, the Turkanas will go, the Digos will go who are in southern whatever, the Bukusu, the Luyas will go, and there will be nothing called Kenya left. So if at least there was that logic, and we decided now, let's have a nation which we are equals, which we can live together. But in the case of Ethiopia, it's different. It was forceful acquisition of the Ogaden. Without dealing with that historical constant and that historical suspicion. For you to say that I'm going to go to a region in Somalia and strike a deal with them and get a piece of land. And you understand that. It's the craziest thing anybody can do. Now, the Oromos were being enslaved. They were wiped out. They were killed. Everything was done to them. Abiy just came out of Amara colonialism. And it's still there. The war is there. For him again to aspire to take a territory from Somalia, and just the other day he wanted to attack Eritrea, a sovereign state that fought its way and earned its what you call independence because it was independent. It was never part of Ethiopia. Eritrea has never been part of Ethiopia. It was ceded by the allies, the colonial powers, to them. Now, this is where the problem is. And let me tell you what's going to happen now. This is the beginning of the disintegration of the former Ethiopia. By the way, the whole Ethiopian history that we read of 2,500 years is a fake thing. It's a facade which was just created the other day by Haile Selassie and others. Haile Selassie is an Oromo, by all, you know that very well. You get my point? Because to become an Amara was something you basically had to graduate to because of the assimilations of the Oromos into Amarism, like the Ulama and all that. You're Oromo, I'm sure. So basically what we have now, sovereignty was defined in 1964 by the AU that the borders will be left the way they are.
Okay, thank you.